Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we rent a boat at West Branch Marina. You still have time to enjoy summer. And I prepare pickled beets and beet hummus. But first, Risi Pizzeria. New York style, Roman pizza. They've got great Italian offerings. Well, this is Joe Risi, and he is the owner of Risi Pizzeria. And you may have been driving down 224 in Canfield and noticed that Napa Grocery is now Risi Pizzeria. Well, he's the reason why. And how has your whole rebranding been going?
It's been going very well. We were the local people, the old customers for Napa Grocery. There was a little confusion at first. We've gotten great responses from the locals, and we've been accepted by Canfield, and so I'm pretty happy with that.
Well, and that's hard acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, for Canfield to accept you, but you really had to put your own spin on it. I mean, you came in and a lot of the stuff you weren't comfortable with. You really wanted to prepare what you knew.
One of the things I've taken away is, I have to own it. And if I'm gonna own it, I have to own it. So several of the dishes we've changed up a little bit. The Roman style pizza was something that I wasn't very familiar with.
Well, and I hope you got familiar with it, because that is one of my favorite things. I just love that dough. It's so different.
It's become my Roman obsession, I call it. We've been working on the dough since March 1st. And
wow.
I feel finally now with the product that we're putting out, it's top notch. It's gonna be something that I look to put Roman pizza on the map locally.
What is your experience though? How did you come to be such a pizza connoisseur?
I've eaten a lot of pizza. I started off when I was 15 working at Wedgwood Pizza in Austintown for Fernando.
Good training.
Yeah. Then I moved on to different things, and I worked at a couple other local places, learning some things about the New York style dough, and then just during COVID, I bought my first backyard oven, and I started developing my own dough. So it's a hybrid dough that is unique to us.
So there's nothing here that comes from a microwave or a boil in a bag?
No, not on the pasta.
These are all Risi family recipes.
Yeah, the sauces for the pastas all came from, so it started a long time ago with my Uncle Sam. So I would spend summer times with him, and what he loved to do was eat. And so I lived with him for summer times, and he would cook, and that's how I learned. So when you see the movies like Goodfellas where they're cutting the onions and the garlic,
with the razor blade, they're shaving the garlic.
He didn't use the razor blade, but it was all homemade stuff. And so I have been on a quest since then. I could remember the taste, I could remember the smells, and that is what I wanted to reproduce, the same, because I remember sitting around the table watching the grown-ups, and dinner around the table was amazing. Everybody's talking, whether they're talking politics or football, it didn't matter. Everybody had a great time because the food is what brings people together.
The restaurant business has always been hard.
Yeah.
The help isn't there, you can't keep the help. How are you dealing with that?
So when we took over, there was already a staff here, and most of the staff is still here with us today. We couldn't be doing what we do without our staff. I also brought along, we're a family-owned business. I've got 3 sons that work for me.
That's really good.
Yeah. My brother-in-law is here 3 to 4 days a week.
So you par-bake
the Romans, you have to, because it's such a high hydration. If you don't, you can't really do what you're supposed to do with it. Now look at that.
Oh, I mean, look at the bubbles, the air. How do you get that so light? It's 3 days.
It's a 3-day process just to get the dough to where you can go ahead and use it. So the first 48 hours, it bulk ferments, then we cut and ball it. And then let it rest for another 24 hours, and then that's when we start really working with it to make individual pizzas.
So you start out with your sauce.
Yep, that's our marinara.
And then what is the cheese on here?
So the cheese that I've par-baked on here already is just a little, what's called Chiliangini's, which is a fresh mozzarella as well. The beauty about our pizzas in this style pizza. What's huge in Italy, in Rome, is the freshness of everything. You know, here we use a lot of processed stuff. This is why this pizza that we're gonna have out on the counter is one of my absolute favorites. It's so fresh. You've got the fresh sauce, you've got the fresh basil, you've got the fresh tomato. Then you use this burrata. It's messy, and then you just drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil.
Oh, that is beautiful.
And then this dough will crisp up, but it's so light that when you bite into it, it's like biting into a pillow. A pillow with a crispy edge. This is why I'm in love with, that's why I called it my Roman obsession. I am over the top.
The Roman obsession.
It's my Roman obsession. There's that one for the counter.
Okay, don't mess up the Roman obsession.
Yeah. It's a high hydration dough. Stretching it leaves it kind of thin.
All right.
So we weren't getting, and this is since we took over. I mean, we were trained on the dough. We weren't getting the rise that I wanted for my customers to see a nice, what the dough is supposed to be like. Now I'm talking months of working together. I have another gentleman who works with me in the morning. We have been obsessing over this dough since March 1st.
How do I know that this is good dough?
Well, when you cut this is your dough doing what it's supposed to be doing. Inside of all of these bubbles, you've got the gluten structures growing.
So that's the air?
That's the air, that's the yeast, that's the flour, that's everything together, the oils to make it that structure. And then it's so light. Then when you put your toppings on it,
it is really light.
And exactly.
It doesn't weigh anything.
No.
It's like a feather.
Can I get a fork for Casey to cut into? Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're making the rice balls.
Yep.
Have you had one?
No, I have not had those. No, I have not. You have got to be kidding me. Look at that. Perfect, gooey. Look, come on. Come on. Oh, this is crazy. Gino. Delicious. Love it.
And that's it. So you got 4 nice big pieces. I can cut it smaller for you. But we take the fresh arugula, which
Yes, come on, let's finish it off.
and we slice our prosciutto,
Oh, look at that. Now that's a beautiful looking thing.
and then you christen it. And that's our prosciutto Roman style pizza.
Oh my. All
Get a
right.
side shot of that. Look at
Now
that.
look at this. The secret is all right here. It's beautiful. Cheers.
Chin down.
Perfect.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
This is GABA Camp, an all-inclusive resort campground for our friends with disabilities. We're not done. Let's help our friends with disabilities. We need additional cabins and a lodge. Donate now, gabacamp.com. Giving is living.
Hi, I'm John Stanko.
And I'm Robbie Fellman from Boardman Subaru, where it's time for the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Subaru has the longest lasting vehicles in the industry, the most top Safety Pick Plus awards, and is rated #1 in product quality.
Come check out our specials on the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek or Subaru Outback, both rated #1 in their class according to Motor Trend.
Visit our award-winning team at Boardman Subaru.
Just south of Route 224 on South Avenue.
Locally sourced is good, whether it's ingredients or a bank. And that's why my bank is Farmers National Bank. Since 1887, Farmers has remained rock solid through every economic condition. Having a bank with a history of safety, soundness, and conservative management is a must. It all boils down to this. You need a bank that will help you reach your goals. I do too. And Farmers is mine. Farmers National Bank. Rock solid.
Shop C-Max Northside Appliance in Struthers, the local appliance store that beats big box prices every day.
3 generations serving Youngstown, Ohio, soon to be our 4th.
Well, today I'm going to make 2 really quick and really easy dishes that actually are good for you. And the main ingredient is the lowly beet. I really like beets. They're sweet, they're earthy, they're really good for you, and they're really cheap in the grocery store. Or if your neighbors grow them, and I do get them occasionally from the neighbors, and I just really like beets. Add them to salads, and I like them pickled, and now I have this really good recipe for beet hummus. And it is such a pretty color. So let's get started. We're gonna start with the pickling and then we'll do the hummus, but you're gonna get a new appreciation for beets. For this recipe, you'll need 4 medium roasted beets sliced and halved, 1 red onion peeled, thinly sliced and halved, 1 cup of cider vinegar, 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard, and 7 peppercorns. Well, before we can do anything, we've got to roast the beets. And I like roasting as opposed to boiling because this keeps the flavor, roasting keeps the color, and it just keeps that sweet earthiness. So what I do is I just cut off the greens, cut off this little bit, wet them, and then I wrap them in tin foil, and I bake them for about an hour or so at 375. And then right until they're fork tender. I could stick the fork in there and then I know they're ready to go. I let them cool in the foil and then they're really easy to peel. You just run them under some cold water and the peel comes right off. So right now, I've got 4 beets cooled and ready to go. But before we get to those, we have got to get our brine together. So I am going to put the vinegar, the water, the sugar. I know it seems weird, sugar, but you do need it to balance, the pickling. And then the dry mustard and the salt. And all you do is go to the stove and just bring it to a boil and let it simmer until all of the sugar, salt, and the dry mustard has dissolved. The brine has dissolved nicely. I'm gonna set this aside and just let it cool. In the meanwhile, I will load our jar. This is about a 4 cup, and you want it to have a nice seal on it, and it doesn't have to fill all the way up, but you just want to make sure that you cover the beets and onions. So what we're going to start with is the black peppercorns, and just throw them in. You can use as many as you want. I put 7 in the recipe, but you could use as many as you want. So we'll put those at the bottom, and then I have, it's easier than keeping them round. I find it's, so I cut them in half and then I just slice them. And then what I start doing is just layering them in the jar, okay? So we lay this down and you just lay them all over and, line the bottom of the jar. It's nice to have a wide mouth so you can get in there. And then I put a little layer of onion, and these are really finely sliced, so they really absorb all the brine nicely. So put that in, and then another layer of beets. Well, this has cooled nicely, so now we have the jar and we have all our layers, and we pour in the brine just till it's covered. I just seal it, and I let it sit on the counter for a couple hours before I stick it in the refrigerator. And then it really tastes good in about a day or 2, and it lasts for a few weeks in your refrigerator. Now, round 2 of our beet recipe is the beet hummus. And this is so quick and so easy, and it's such a beautiful presentation. Wait till you see the color of this hummus, courtesy of the beets. So let's go over that recipe, and we are gonna whip up some hummus. For this recipe, you'll need 1 roasted beet, peeled and cut into chunks, 1 can of chickpeas drained and rinsed, 1/4 cup of tahini, zest and juice from 2 lemons, 3 cloves of garlic chopped, 1/3 cup of olive oil, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, chopped herbs for garnish. All we do is add all of these ingredients, the chickpeas, the beets, the star of the show, the garlic, love garlic. You can add more, of course, if you want, or less. It depends on your taste buds. And then the lemon juice. This packs such a punch. You're gonna love it. I love the lemon zest. It really knocks this out of the park. And then a little bit of salt. And to give it its little backbone, that tahini. And I will just put that in here. There we go. There we go. And then what we'll do is let this run. Click that on. We'll let it blend for just a little bit. And you can see it start, look at that color. Is that amazing? And now we are gonna add the olive oil, just to loosen it up a little bit. And you'll see the difference. Looks perfect, creamy, great color. Let's check our seasonings here and see if we need any adjustments. Salt, garlic, lemon, what does it need? It needs absolutely nothing. This is an excellent batch. So let's get this plated and let's enjoy our beets. So I have some pickled beets that I made earlier. And let's try, is this unbelievable how beautiful this is? And I garnished it with some fresh herbs and a little bit of extra olive oil. And in honor of our color of beets, I thought a Sana Julia would be an excellent rosé made from the Malbec grape, Argentinian. And I think this is gonna go really well with what we're enjoying today. So let's check on this. I mean, it is just beautiful. So pretty and so delicious. And look at these beautiful beets. I mean, the color and the onion have just absorbed all of this. Perfect. Delicious. So there you have it. 2 beautiful, easy dishes, and they taste as good as they look. Go to my website, CaseyMaloneShow.com, and get these recipes. You are going to love them. Cheers.
This is the Casey Malone Show.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Locally owned, Hurricane Health and Wellness will help you weather the storm of your weight loss struggles. Safe and discreet, our experienced telemed team will prescribe the proper weight loss medication. Powerful weight loss solutions. Hurricane Health and Wellness.
Given is living.
For over 75 years, Kamara Jewelers has been the destination for quality jewelry. Our collection has a piece for everyone, in every occasion. Whether you're starting a new chapter, celebrating a milestone, or showing appreciation for the special people in your life, you can find a piece that reflects your love. At Kamara, we're about timelessness. Our jewelry isn't just for special occasions, it's for everyday moments that deserve a touch of elegance.
Get real, get Kamara.
Well, I'm out here at the West Branch Marina, and I learned something just yesterday that I had no idea, that you could actually rent boats out here.
Yep, absolutely.
And Zach is the manager here. I could rent pontoon, What else?
Pontoons, jet skis, kayaks, fishing boats, ski boats, pretty much anything you can think of, we rent.
And that includes everything, like the life jackets.
Life jackets, water sports equipment, your wakeboards, tubes, skis, all your safety equipment's included. You come out here, we get the paperwork with you, do your testing, and you're on the lake.
I don't have to have a boat license, right?
If you're born before January 1st, 1982,
Oh,
you do
darn,
not need a
I missed
license. If you are born after that date, you either have to have a boating license or you have to pass a 10-question rental exam we offer here at the marina. We give you all the information to study, and then you have to pass that test to be able to drive by Ohio laws.
You know, I already passed the test. I, studied before I came, and you're going to take me out. We're going to go out on a pontoon.
Absolutely.
And that's what you do with everybody, give them instructions.
Yep, we'll go down there, I'll run you through operation instructions, show you all your safety equipment, make sure you know how to use all the safety equipment.
What do I need to worry about?
First thing, you need to know how to start the boat. So to start the boat, it has to be in neutral. It's going to lock right here in the middle in neutral. You're going to have forward, reverse, neutral. So right where it locks in the middle, that's going to be your neutral. From there, you need to make sure your kill switch is plugged in, which you're good. From there, all you're gonna do is turn the key, and turn right on for you. Wow. All right. Next thing we'll go over is all the safety equipment you're gonna have on board to be legal in the state of Ohio. The first thing you're gonna need are gonna be your life jackets. One for every person that's gonna be on board.
And they're stored on the boat.
They're on the boat already for you.
Okay.
So right in here, you're gonna have all of your jackets.
Okay, I better put mine on.
Absolutely.
Safety first.
These ones are nice, universal. They fit people from your size all the way up to my size.
So everybody has to wear one when they leave this dock?
Don't have to wear it if you're over the age of 14, which is our rules. They just have to be on board for everybody.
Okay.
Next piece of safety equipment you have to have is a throwable device. So this is just extra flotation for the boat. If somebody falls off, doesn't have a jacket on, you're able to throw this out, gives them a little bit more flotation.
Okay.
And then the last thing we have to worry about is a fire extinguisher. Right back here is your fire extinguisher. All you're gonna do is pull out that red tab, squeeze down with your thumb, all the nice stuff will come out of there. All boats that we rent also have to have either a horn or a whistle on board. So with this one, when the key's on, all we're gonna do is flip the horn and it's gonna sound for you.
And then how big is this lake?
This lake is 2,600 water acres.
So this is...
It's a nice sized lake. From the far east point where the dam is to the far west point is right around 6 miles. Some of that's inaccessible at times, just with water level, stuff like that. But if you're talking about the actual length of the lake, that's about how long it is. Right now you are free. What I'm gonna do is basically instruct you when to turn the wheel, where to turn the wheel, and when to shift. Okay. So right now, if you wanna turn the wheel all the way to your left, go until you can't go anymore.
Okay.
All right. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly shift into reverse. And what I'm gonna do is actually spin the boat around for you.
Okay. You're gonna jump on?
I'll jump on. All right, now all you're gonna do is turn the wheel to your right.
All right.
And put it into forward gear, real slow.
Real slow, because this is a no-wake zone.
Exactly.
So in keeping up all the beach area and, the boat ramps where you can see right here, a boat goes in, that you must have a pretty big crew that works between here, Milton. How does that work?
What happens is here at West Branch, we have a staff of about 15 maintenance staff, along with our camp attendant staff as well. And then over at Milton, we're just about the same. We don't have camp attendant staff there, it's just mainly maintenance because it's a day use park. But we do work together. We usually go through and do routine maintenance on the docks, go and check the boat ramps, make sure that, obviously that they're operable for different customers to come out and use them. From time to time throughout the year, you might run into a few minor things.
When it is cold enough, because there is good fishing here, right? There's, what do you say, muskie?
Muskie is one of the biggest.
Do you get ice fishermen?
Oh yes, all the time, especially in the wintertime when the lake freezes over. We get a good crowd of folks that do ice fishing.
You do, and who determines that it's safe enough? I've done that, and I'll tell you, it's pretty cool, but it's pretty scary.
Yes,
you never know, right?
Yes, yes. So we don't have like a standard that says, hey, you can go out on the lake. It's really at the fisherman's discretion. But usually we try to look for at least 4 inches thickness of ice. So this is typical standard.
So unlike Lake Milton, because they were grandfathered in, there is no housing or residence.
So one of the unique things about this lake, it is a United States Army Corps of Engineers. They run this as well, so it's designated for a flood control reservoir. So not only does it have the dual purpose of being able to provide recreation, but it also helps with downstream needs with the Ohio Mahoning River.
How many visitors do you estimate that visit West Branch?
Well, on an annual basis, that's a good number. I tell you what, well, just recently with this past eclipse, we had close to 6,000 people here. Wow. Yeah, so if you think about it on an annual basis, I wouldn't be surprised if it's close to 20,000 people throughout the year. Our campgrounds, they stay fully booked as soon as summer hits, from Memorial Day to October 31st. We're booked up just about every week.
So you have to pre-book all those. You never can just drive in and say, I need a...
Yeah, no, usually they're booked up 6 months in advance is the soonest you're able to book it. So, we're looking at, trying to do some more renovations throughout the campground. Adding possibly an archery range here shortly for some more activities for campers to do while they're here. We have a naturalist who does programs every weekend just about from starting in April. Sometimes it goes on through the whole winter. It just kind of depends what's going on. But folks are able to kind of see what's happening in the park if they go to the website, or if they're at their camp store. We usually leave them posted throughout the season. So yeah, lots to do around here.
Now, is there a nude beach out here at West Branch?
I don't think the state allows. At your discretion.
It's your discretion. Wow! Ahoy! You didn't feel unsafe at any time, in danger, did you?
We are a certified Ohio Clean Marina. We actually just did recertification last week to bump us up to the highest level, which is platinum status.
And what does that mean? We
practice and we teach the best boating practices for environmental policies, whether it be invasive species, prevention, anything to do with how to maintain your boat to where you're not getting oils, gas, anything like that into the lake.
Platinum level. So nothing is keeping you off the lake?
No, it's real easy. You can make a reservation online at our website, westbranchmarina.com. It's real easy to come out and rent and enjoy a good day on the water.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.